Chapter 17. Still treating of the mystery of the conception of Holy Mary and explaining the 21st chapter of the Apocalypse. The Immaculate Conception of the Most Holy Mary contains such great and such exalted sacraments that in order to make me more capable of understanding this admirable mystery, His Majesty opened up to me many of the hidden meanings of the 21st chapter of the Apocalypse of St. John, and referred me to it for my guidance. In recording some of the things which were manifested to me, I will divide this explanation into 3 parts, thus relieving the monotony which too long a chapter might entail. And first I will give the very words of that chapter, which begins in the following manner. 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were gone, and the sea was now no more. 2. And I, John, saw the holy city, the New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. 3. And I heard a great voice from the throne saying, Behold the tabernacle of God with men, and he shall dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself with them shall be their God. 4. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and death shall be no more, nor crying, nor mourning, nor sorrow shall be any more, for the former things are passed away. 5. And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And he said to me, Write, for these things are most faithful and true. 6. And he said to me, It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. To him that thirsteth I will give of the fountain of the water of life freely. 7. He that shall overcome shall possess these things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son. 8. But the fearful and the unbeliever and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars, they shall have their portion in the pool burning with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. This is the first of the 3 parts of the literal rendering of this chapter, and I will begin to explain it verse for verse. I saw, says the evangelist, a new heaven and a new earth. He speaks of the creation of Mary by the hand of the Almighty and the formation of that material from which the most holy human nature of the Word originated. With great propriety can that divinely human nature and the virginal womb, where and from which the Word was formed, be called a new heaven. For in that heaven, God began to dwell in a new way, different from that in which he had dwelt before in the old heaven, and in any of his creatures. But also the old heaven, after the mystery of the Incarnation, could be called new, for through it the novelty was made possible, that henceforth also mortal men could dwell therein. Moreover, the renovation, which was wrought by the glory of the humanity of Christ and that of his most pure mother, was so splendid that in addition to its former essential glory, it renewed the heaven and added to it unheard of beauty and splendor. Although the good angels already dwelt there, that was a thing as of old and of yore. Therefore it was as it were a new event, that the only begotten of the Father should, by his death, restore to men the glory lost through sin, and merit for them admittance into heaven, whence they had been expelled and incapacitated as inhabitants through their own fault. And because all this renewal of heaven had its beginning in most holy Mary, the evangelist, in speaking of Mary born without sin, said that he saw a new heaven. He saw also a new earth, for the old earth was stained and laden with the guilt of sin and the reprobation. But the holy and blessed earth of Most Holy Mary was a new earth without the fault or the malediction of Adam. And it was so new that since the creation of the first earth, none other was seen until the creation of Most Holy Mary. It was so new and free from the malediction of the old earth that in this blessed earth were renewed all the rest of the children of Adam. For on account of the blessed earth of Mary, and through it, and in it, the earthly material of Adam was beginning to be blessed, renewed, and vivified, having until then remained cursed and grown old in malediction. All was renewed in Most Holy Mary and in her innocence. And therefore the evangelist, seeing that in her this renovation of the human and earthly elements took its rise, says that in Mary conceived without sin he saw a new heaven and a new earth. He continues,